Welcome back to our coverage in Chicago, and we are here at the DNC. It is quiet this morning, but we are your warm-up of the warm-up acts, because there's a lot to come between now and then, and Fox has you covered all day. Outside, there is this: anti-Israel protesters espousing hate speech in Chicago. Watch.
You support Hamas?
Every Palestinian support Hamas, not just me. Every Palestinian support Hamas.
You support October 7th?
Who?
October 7th.
October 7? Yes, I do. What's wrong with October 7? You tell me.
Women and children.
What?
It's a murder.
What is this bull?
So here was the scene yesterday. They're doing their best to disrupt the DNC. Police say some of them deployed pepper gas. Let's bring in House Speaker Mike Johnson. It's good to have you here.
Morning, sir.
One of the things I picked up on last night is that, first of all, Joe Biden in his speech did bring up the Charlottesville Fine People hoax. Okay, that's been debunked by many different fact checkers, and everybody can check that out for themselves. But then last night, when Biden was talking about the anti-Israel protesters, he said this.
Those protesters out in the street, they have a point. A lot of innocent people are being killed on both sides.
And then you think about the guy that was talking to Mike Tobin, who said, well, wait, what do you mean what happened on October 7th? And Hamas doesn't enter the conversation at all at this point, sir.
No, this is illustrating what the real problem is in the Democratic Party right now. They have a pro-Hamas wing. It's not just a pro-Palestinian wing in the party. It's a pro-Hamas wing. This is what we've seen with these hostile crowds, the protesters on the college campuses. Remember, I went to Columbia University and faced down that angry mob. I saw this with my own two eyes. We all feel it and experience it, and they're having a problem inside the party. Kamala Harris is trying to play both sides. Joe Biden has tried to do the same thing, and that's why they have the mess on their hands that they do. You cannot appease terrorists, Hamas sympathizers. There's no place for that, and they're trying to embrace it. It was broken in the news this week that Kamala Harris visited with the mayor of Dearborn, who's a radical anti-Semite. They're trying to play both sides. I don't think it's going to work, and I think they're going to wind up upsetting everybody in the process. That's a serious problem for them.
Chicago Tribune's the headline, exactly what you say. They call it a difficult balance, and that's what they're trying to pull off. Not just what's happening out here. It is. Sorry, guys. A difficult balance. Not just what's happening outside, but also the little dance between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris coming in here. I want to play two sound bites and get your reaction. Now, Speaker of the House, you got a lot of experience on this. Nancy Pelosi, yesterday on CNN here in Chicago, said this.
Talk to him is my only question.
What I have to do.
Right.
He made the decision for the country. My concern was not about the president, it was about his campaign. As he has seen the exuberance, the excitement that has come forth in our country.
Okay, so that was in the afternoon, and this was around 1 o'clock in the morning here in Chicago at the airport.
Are you angry at Nancy Pelosi? Are you going to speak with her?
No, I haven't spoken to Nancy at all. I mean, look, no one influenced my decision. No one knew it was coming.
Yeah, the other thing he ad-libbed last night is that he wasn't angry. That wasn't true, as it was reported. I haven't spoken to Nancy at all. How's that work? Give us some insight.
This is just more deceit from the Democrats. What we're witnessing right now is the largest gaslighting operation in the history of American politics. Everything that we're seeing at the convention, everything they're saying is patently untrue. They're trying to convince the American people that what we're seeing and experiencing and feeling isn't real. And so that's why they're out there, touting the economy when they broke the economy, clearly. Inflation is at record highs, and everyone's struggling, and they're looking right into the camera and trying to pretend like everything's great. They've put us in jeopardy on the world stage. They've appeased our adversaries, and that's why we have hot wars around the globe right now. They've opened the border wide, and that is a catastrophe in every city and every state around the country. They want people to believe that what we're seeing is not actually true, and it's not going to work. I mean, I think they're on a sugar high right now. I think they'll come off of that after the convention, and the real campaign starts after Labor Day, as it does every presidential cycle. And I'm absolutely convinced, y'all, we are going to grow the House majority, win back the Senate for the Republican Party, and Donald Trump's going to be returned to the White House because of all of this.
I just have 30 seconds. I do want to ask you, though, because I understand that last week there was a message sent to House Republicans that that their races might be tighter than they thought. And you are encouraging them to what?
No, to keep fighting, to run like we're 10 points behind, we should, but we're ahead in the polls. We are going to grow the majority, and we're very bullish about November. You can go to growthemajority.com and see all the evidence and the data and why we're so excited, but there's an energy out there around the country. I've been in 169 cities now in 37 states the last few months. We're going to continue going, and I'm telling you, something's happening out there. We feel very, very good about November. It just can't get here soon enough.
I hope you come back soon. September 10th is going to be a big night, too. That is debate night. Circle it on the calendar. Thank you, sir, for coming on today. We'll talk down the road. Mike Johnson, thanks.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.